Hi, we're on Chapter 5, Lesson 3, Comparing and Ordering Integers. Please turn to page 363 in your textbook. Before we start talking about these, though, I'd like to show a short video.
Okay, we have hot water, boiling hot water, and Kyle's going to throw it into the air. This is in Wasilla, Alaska in January 2008, and it's negative 22 degrees. All right, go ahead, Kyle. 2009, I'm sorry. Pretty cool.
Cool video. I like the fact that the little girl had to correct her dad on the date. So now let's look at this temperature thermometer for Alaska. We're in Fairbanks. Really cold. So they've already located November at 3 degrees, February at negative 4 degrees, and January at negative 10 degrees. Our job is to locate the other 2 months. The average temperature for December is negative 6.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Negative 6. So here's 0 right here, so we have to go below that. So negative 6.5 is right about there, and that is December. We now need to locate March. March is above 0 at 11. So here is 11. And this is 11 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is March. So now let's look at the questions. Which months have a greater temperature than February? First thing we have to do is locate February. The months above that are March and November. Which months have a lower average temperature than November? So we want to be below this one. That would be February, December, and January. Feb, December, and January. Completing the inequality to compare temperatures of November and February. November we know is at 3, February is at negative 4. Therefore, we know 3 is greater than negative 4. Turn the page. Remember, when you're comparing integers on a number line, it is important to denote which numbers are positive and which numbers are negative, and more importantly, which way to put the inequality sign. I've already showed you in class, but we're going to put it in our notes. Less than, greater than, and equal to. Less than, you can put the word less in there. That way you'll always know which way it points. Greater than must then be the opposite. And then equal to. So again, it's very important when you list your numbers which way the inequality goes. Now, one of the big things about a number line, every number to the left of any other number will always be less than. So on our number line, let's put some less than signs. Negative 3 is less than negative 1. Negative 1 is less than 1. 2 is less than 3. In the first example, we need to locate 12 and negative 4. 12 is 12 to the right of 0. Negative 4 is negative 4 to the left of 0. Again, it's important to see the magnitude. Which number is greater than? 12 is greater than negative 4. It's now your turn. Please do the 3 got it's. Turn the video off. When you're done, turn it back on. Did you get that negative 3 is greater than negative 5? Negative 5 is less than 0, and 6 is greater than negative 1. Let's go on to example number 2. Justin has a score of -4 in the trivia game. Desiree scores -5. We need to write an inequality to compare the scores. -4 is greater than -5. But might you say, but 4 is less than 5? Remember, on the negative side of the number line, negative numbers with greater absolute values are less than numbers to their right. So -4 is greater than -5. Please do the guide and then turn the recorder video back on. Did you get 2 is greater than -2? It's another way we could have done that. If I flip the sign and the numbers, I have the same inequality. They're both correct. -2 is less than 2. Please flip the page. First, I should clear up when I say flip the page. For me, I'm doing it on the smartboard. So I need to actually push in the next page on my smartboard. It may be directly across the page, or I might have to flip it if I were in a textbook. For me, I still have to flip it. So please just go to the next problem. When we're ordering integers, we have to determine, are we going least to greatest or greatest to least? Anytime I ask you these on a test, always label below the numbers, L to G or G to L. That way you're sure you're putting them in the right order. So let's look at example number 3. We're going to order the set -9, 6, -3, and 0 from least to greatest. Least to greatest. First, we're going to locate them on the number line. -9, 6, -3, and 0. And again, -9 is less than -3, -3 is less than 0, 0 is less than 6. Once you determine this, we just list them. -9, comma, -3, comma, 3, negative, let's start over, kids. -9, -3, 0, and 6. And again, when we talk about these, if you don't want to use a number line, you have to understand that a number with a greater negative absolute value will always be less than a lesser negative number and always be less than any positive number. Now it's your turn. Please do E and F. Turn the video off. When you're done, turn it back on. Now let's see how many of you got E correct. Did you first label greatest to least, or did you just assume that it was least to greatest? By putting the G to L, you will always get these problems right. In E, 11 is greater than 3, is greater than -4, is greater than -25. For F, it's the opposite. We're now talking least to greatest. -18 is less than -6, is less than 3, is less than 12, is less than 30. Let's go to the next page. Math does not involve straightforward problems. Math is always about word problems or real-life problems. In this case, we have elevations for several continents, and we need to order them from least to greatest. So again, I'm going to write L to G to ensure that I'm going in the correct direction. The greater the negative value, the smaller the number. So in this case, we have -418, -156, -105, -86, -28, and negative 12. A lot of times I will check them off as I mark them. That way, I don't forget any. When you have longer lists, it's important to have some method to check to make sure that you have included all the numbers in your set. Now, please do the guided practice. Remember, turn the video off, do your work, and then come back and check it. See you soon. All right, let's see if you got one. 17 is less than 31. Negative 6 is greater than negative 10. Negative 83 is less than negative 38. Andrew and his father are scuba diving at negative 38 degrees feet, and the tackle box canyon is at negative 83. When we look at the picture, it's easy to tell which one's closer to the surface. Negative 38 is greater than negative 83. In number 5, it was important to denote that our numbers had to go from greatest to least. Again, please label these so that you know, so that you go in the correct direction. Also, there are quite a few numbers in this list, so I put little checks as I wrote them down. When I'm done with that, I will count them. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. I have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. I know I wrote the correct number and I didn't miss one. Lastly, symbols and absolute value. The larger the negative absolute value, the smaller the number. We'll talk about that more tomorrow when I see you. Thank you for listening. Bye.